You know when you like, when you see yourself in a camera, and sometimes you look at yourself and you're like, yeah, yeah, I vibe. I totally vibe with this. Well, I totally vibe with this. What is this? It's beautiful. Like, do you think maybe every time I upload a new video, I should just add another flag to my backdrop? Because I'm probably gonna. Hi. This actually feels like the most coherent way I've started a video basically ever, not gonna lie. Hi. It's Noodle Pixie. You know what? I figured it out. I figured out what I don't like about saying that. I sound posh when I say it. Noodle Pixie. That's not how posh people sound. I I don't know. We're sticking with Noodle Pixie until somebody gives me a better name that isn't just Pixie. Because I can't just call myself Pixie because then people will get confused with my private vent Twitter. Like, that happened once. I had some person following me. I mean, this is a total side note, by the way. I had somebody following me on my very private, well, it's not private, it's not set to private, but like, it's not exactly something normies are going to be following because I'm posting all of my disordered thoughts there. And I'm like, why are you following me, babe? Like, I love you for supporting my content, but like, I do have another Twitter that I actually, you know, market to everybody. I'm like, yes, follow Noodle Pixie, not the other one. Like, the other one is not for you, son, unless you also have these issues, then like you're not gonna like any of my tweets. I'm gonna be tweeting about all sorts of dark shit. Like, weird. Anyway, anyway, anyway. Like one day I'll start doing a video and I won't complain about the fact that saying Noodle Pixie doesn't sound right to me. I don't know, it's my tone, I sound posh or something like that. I don't know where I got the idea from that I sound posh because I don't sound posh. Okay. So today I've been thinking about this video since I did my last video because I was like, that's the thing about YouTube. Um, it kind of feels a little bit self-involved, and you kind of like you sit there and you talk to your camera, and you just kind of hope that at, like the other end, like you guys watching, whoever you are, hi, hope you have some water or something, drink some water. This is your reminder. Um, you kind of have no idea or any like concept of anybody actually listening to you. So you're basically just talking to yourself, and it's not looked upon as weird. So I do it because I can talk to myself and it's not weird. I I've been wanting to talk about other people for a little bit, and seeing as it's Pride Month, what a better time to talk about other people because not everybody has the sad coming out stories that I have. Also, just a side note, my mug has Scotty dogs on it. That's really cute. Because yeah, today we're drinking coffee because I threw myself out of bed, got in the shower, and was just like, today is productivity day. Today is the first day of the rest of my week, and I'm gonna be productive because I've decided that days start whenever, like weeks start whenever I want them to, because I make the rules. It's my fucking life. So I have been asking, rather annoyingly, all over my social media to get some coming out stories, and I did get some. I'm very happy that I got some because I was genuinely concerned that I wasn't going to get any, and I'd have to like get really desperate or like hold the video off until the end of the month. But I got some. Everything's great, and maybe next time we have Pride Month or something like that, um, we do another video like this and I come back with more stories. Who knows? So yeah, if you have a story and you didn't get to submit it, then don't worry, there will be more opportunities. I had to write them all down because everything is on my phone. So I'm going to try and not glance down at my notes, but I'm probably going to be glancing down at my notes because I wrote it all down verbatim. And I'm going to read it all out off my trusty little sketch pad, which has no sketches in because I am just that bitch. I am keeping everybody anonymous, so if I refer to somebody with a name or whatever, it's not their name. Don't go looking for them, obviously. Like, I trust you. We have a bond. Okay, so we're calling this one N. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be like reading it. Why am I telling you this? It's not important. I'm going to be reading it. Okay, so yeah, this is N's story. Okay. I never really came out. I just made jokes about going both ways and let people figure it out. Though on National Coming Out Day a few years ago, I did post a video to my Snap of myself lip syncing to Bye 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 by NSYNC and pointing to myself. I knew when I was reading this that I'd have to stop there because I've seen this video. It's perfect. Like, I think I've seen a whole bunch of people do this exact same thing, but I don't care. I love it every single time somebody does it. It's the most hilarious thing to me. Keep doing it. Don't stop dancing to Bye 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 and then pointing to yourself. It's peak humor. Okay, my mom found out when she found my private Tumblr at the same time she learned I was sexually active and hella depressed. That was ugly and horrible. She was a gay is fine, bi is not person back then, but over the years she has opened up to it a lot and has a better understanding. When I first started making jokes and sharing posts, I panicked when people asked me outright. Now I literally have the bi pride flag tattooed on myself. What a realization to come to. I mean, I'll get on to this another thing in a second, but like, you find your kid's Tumblr, you realize that they are both bisexual, sexually active, and depressed. You have to come to terms with all of that as a parent, and like, obviously that's frightening that like your mum just found that, but like, the parent that finds this, Christ, that's a bombshell. Because like, I know a lot of parents really struggle with the concept of their kids being sexually active because it just opens so many doors. Because you're like, okay, so I have to keep them educated, I have to make them realize that this is all very normal, this is how they stay safe, and like, what if they don't stay safe? And it's also really becoming quite apparent to me how old I am saying this, because my immediate thing is to go and be like, oh my god, the parent must be going through so much. Obviously, that's a lot for N to deal with. That is just a shitstorm. I can't imagine how anxious and awful they must have felt when their parents find their private Tumblr. Like, just a nice big side note here. How the ever-loving fuck did a parent find a private Tumblr? Like, my dad, growing up with him, he was so bad with technology, I could hack his emails. Like, all the time. I did periodically hack his emails, just for funsies. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just growing up with a not tech savvy person. I mean, both of my parents were not tech savvy. They didn't know what Tumblr was. They barely they barely even know what Facebook is. I think my dad started using Facebook like a few years ago, but like he barely posts or anything like that. Like if you mentioned Tumblr to him, it would just be like, what the hell is a Tumblr? Like, isn't that something you drink out of? Like that is just, I know it's a difference in like upbringing and stuff, but it always gets me when parents find accounts and stuff. Because you're just like, I thought parents didn't internet. How did, like. That's story number one. I like. It's amazing how easy some people have it when they're coming out to a lot of people. Like, obviously, I'm not saying that Anne had it completely easy because, you know, they did have the issue with their parents, but like, it's a very emotional hill to get over. But you know, sometimes when you can, like, upload a video lip syncing to NSYNC because you have been making jokes for this amount of time, you kind of just assume that everybody won't be weird about it, which is wonderful. Like, what a world. Like, you know, you've picked yourself some good friends when you can do something like that and not receive backlash, because there are so many ways that could have gone wrong, but her implicit trust in her friends to be able to upload that video is genuinely heartwarming. Like, I'm so happy that they had a group of friends like that. And I'm sure that there were people who were shitty, who were not very nice, because, you know, especially on Facebook, especially in places like social media and stuff like that, you will always get those people, always getting those people who just try to erase bi people in general. And that's obviously bullshit. Like, you don't get to decide somebody's sexuality just because you don't agree with it. Assholes. But yeah, so let's move on. I'm calling this one P. I'm sorry, I'm like the fidgetiest person. I can't even say the word fidgety. So this is P. This is P's story. Okay, so when I was 17, I had been best friends with my now girlfriend for maybe 2 years. We met on Tumblr and became super close, but never met. I thought I was straight, and so did she. I kind of just thought I liked girls as friends and wanted to be them. So I just thought I platonically loved her. Anyway, I got very, very drunk on New Year's Eve of 2011 and ended up calling her and telling her I really, really liked her. And she told me she did too, while I was insisting that no, she didn't understand. I really liked her. Until I realised she meant the same thing. Which I love that. That's so cute. We dated in secret for about 3 months, and I finally told my mum I had to tell her something. She went, "Oh God, are you pregnant?" I was like, "No, definitely not." And then she said, "Are you gay?" And I was like, "Well, kind of. Molly is my girlfriend." And she, her mum, went, "Oh yeah, I guess that." And P and this person whose name isn't Molly, I just added that name in, have been together for 8 years. This person was the first submission I got, and when I read it, I was like, oh my God, this is gonna set up the video to be so heartwarming and lovely, and because it's so nice. Like, her mum didn't bat an eyelid. I mean, they had to date in secret, but like, it didn't sound like it was secret from her mum's perspective. It sounded like the kind of thing that was just like an open secret. This is what I wanted to highlight. That like, coming out stories are just so different. I mean, there's been a consistency so far in that like Tumblr has been brought up in two of these stories, and I'm just like, does Tumblr create the gays? Because I had a Tumblr. Just saying. So last one. I left this one until last because it's a ride. So we're gonna call this person C, and yeah, I'm gonna Philip DeFranco and just jump right into it. Puberty led me to having dreams about kissing, and my dream partners were both men and women. Little C didn't have any exposure to NB folk yet. When I was around 13, I realised I liked a girl the same way I got crushes on boys. I wrote about it in my diary. I think I might be bi. My best friend read my diary without my permission and outed me behind my back. And I'm assuming this was in a group chat. I think you ought to know that C is bisexual. I wouldn't blame you if you didn't want to hang out with her anymore. Which, joke's on her. Most of my friends replied with, so what? And one even started exploring her own orientation. As for the rest of the school, I was already bullied for not going to church with them, so their behaviour towards me didn't really change. What did change was them knowing that this girl read diaries and spread secrets. Most people pulled back from her. That's such a plot twist. Like, in growing up, in all my years of hearing people's coming out stories, you don't tend to hear of the person outing the other person as getting some kind of ramification for outing that person. Like, that's so unheard of. And I love that these three stories represent three tiers of positivity, because I don't know. It's nice to know that people come out and they don't have a load of shit, you know? Yeah, I'm annoyed that the 13-year-old friend of C's outed her in such a Mean Girls-esque fashion. But, like, sometimes kids just be like that, you know. The problem there is that I'm not angry at the kid, I'm angry at the upbringing that kid's gone through to think that that kind of behaviour is okay. Because it's never the kid that is the bad person, it's the parents that are the bad person. It's the nurture that that child went through to think, oh yeah, you know, it's fine, I'm going to read C's diary, I'm going to tell all of her friends that they are bisexual. And it's like, don't teach kids to be like that. It's not right. Like, especially now. Like, you would definitely think that things are just not the same now, but like, I know that they are, because like people like things haven't stopped being problems. Like, nothing is better. Like, there's a lot more representation. Defo, way more representation. Like C, I didn't know any non-binary folks. I didn't know that it even existed. I didn't know it extended past the LGBT. Yeah, so I'm super happy about that. But like, a lot of people are getting very lazy with the way they're up, like with the way they're bringing their child up. And it's always been like that, because it's like, oh, you know, my kid won't be gay. My kid will do this, this, and this. Well, it's like, you don't get to decide this. Get a grip. This is going to be my shortest video basically ever, and I hope that it was good. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing Pride Month videos for the whole month, obviously, because it's a fucking month. If you have any suggestions, if you have any questions, any queries, if you want any tips on coming out or whatever, I'm sure we can figure something out. I'm sure we can help you in your situation. And I think the one thing I want you to take away from all of this is these coming out stories are not representative of every coming out story. If you go back and watch my coming out video where I explain that I came out 3 separate times, it's so vastly different. Don't ostracize yourself because of your coming out story, basically. Don't hold yourself back from coming out because you are worried about negativity. It's just something you can't do to yourself. You can't hold yourself back from coming out because you are worried about backlash. Because backlash happens regardless. Like, you spend all of that time figuring it all out, and then you turn around to yourself and you say, oh no, I'm not gonna come out because I don't want my parents to disown me or something like that. Well, I know that hurts, but like, you can't put yourself through that. It's not fair on you at all. Because like, then you're living for them, you're not living for yourself. And that's where it starts to become really, really unhealthy. Like, I'm gonna relate back to my coming out again, but like, when I came out as trans the first time to my dad, I practically asked his permission to be trans. And like, yeah, it's kind of a symptom of abuse. It's kind of a symptom of the terrible upbringing that I had, that I felt the need to ask him for help. I felt the need to ask him permission to exist. And like, that's not right. I shouldn't put myself through that, and you shouldn't put yourself through that either. Like, if you feel like your parents are gonna disown you or whatever, then try your best to come to terms with that as a fact. Try to educate them as best you can. If they are not educatable, then I'm sorry. I will give you the warmest internet hug that I possibly can, because I'm sorry. But you have to live for yourself. And that's what the message of this video is. You have to live for yourself. Live your life and be whoever the fuck you want to be, because fuck everybody else. Also, this whole not swearing in videos thing has really gone out of the window. Whoops. Okay. So I'm going to do that thing. I'm going to do that thing that I do, where I throw all of my social medias on the screen and remind you to like the video. That would be absolutely freaking amazing. Share the video if you like. Subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos in some schedule that I can't put on paper because I hate schedules. I'm going to be streaming at some point, at least a couple times this week on Twitch. So if you go over to twitch.tv/Pixxie Latte, that is Pixxie with 2 X's and latte with 2 T's. I think that's how you just spell latte anyway, because otherwise it would be Pixxie late. And I mean, I know I'm late to everything, but okay, yeah. So social media's on screen. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, and just be kind to yourself this month. It's a hard month. It's we've got a lot of important things to get through this month. And, you know, take some time for yourself. Make sure you're drinking water, make sure you're eating meals and stuff, you know. Take care of yourselves because you deserve it. I love you so very much. Happy Pride. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.